Good morning, Norm. Wanted to take a moment here and review the lesson that we had yesterday. Just want to take a look here at the first part and kind of review what we did. I had you kind of demonstrate what you were doing or what we worked on last time and how it was coming about and so forth. So as we take a look at your stance here, definitely a night and day version over where you were last time. When we see there and then kind of bring you up from where you were. What we like to see is obviously we had that large hunch before, and just the stance just wasn't in a stable foundation or a stable position where we would have liked to have seen it at. So initially, what we talked about here was getting you back into that position and making sure that it was one, athletic, two, more of a stable foundation, and three, something that you can repeat over and over and over. So as we go from here, I think you did an excellent job there, an excellent application there of that. What we talked about next, this was your golf swing here as we go forward. You take the club back, we're back here. Got the shoulders. We talked about getting them shoulders to turn back and staying on a consistent plane. Now, when we talk about staying on a consistent plane, what do I mean by that? Well, this is a little more of what I'm discussing here. So if we look at your shoulders and as they turn back, I want them to operate as if they were turning around your spine here. As we turn back here, we come right back through here. And you can kind of see that same position. That's what I want to see. You see, you barely moved off of that line from where your spine was, but it was still a better position and a little more consistent position on where you're at. Now, this week, what we talked about here was right here. And what we can see, and what I mean by right here, is just this position as you go to take the club back. You can see the shoulders are operating just how we wanted them to, but you can see how this club goes from right here to right here. And because of that, you can see how the body is trying to support itself by the left knee coming out. You kind of look, you can see how your shoulders and your head kind of look like they're stressing just a little bit because your left arm is being pulled around your body by your right hand and your ability to turn to the top of your golf swing. I think, and like I said, I think you did a great job working on what we did because the shoulders stayed on that consistent plane or turned on that consistent position back and forth. So as we see this, what I talked to you this week about was trying to get you back, going in from about waist high here and trying to go more up over that right shoulder or staying in line with that right shoulder. So this is what we kind of see here. We see you here, and obviously those are golf clubs there, but what we essentially did was just had you as you get to about, let's make sure I got the right one here. Yeah, there we go. All right, so as we go up here, this is what we're seeing here. All I had you do, it's a very simple thing to do, is you come back to waist high and almost feel like you're taking the club to a little bit more of a lighter position. You start to feel the wrist hinge and the club kind of go straight up with it to where you can kind of see where it intersects that right shoulder or just there underneath of it. You can see a difference here, how you're going around compared to here. Look at the difference in the way your shoulders look, your whole body looks in that same position. Just in the same height. You can see how your hands are even higher here on the right-hand side compared to where you are on the left. There they are in a very similar position. And look at the difference, one, how your knees look, and then vice versa, how your shoulders and how your hands look. That night and day difference. It looks so much better, Norm. I think you did an excellent job there. So as you come back down and through, it's getting those hands to fall back down. And this is where, kind of feel in that position, getting the hands to fall down and come through. Now, as we talk about that, what I had you do is I had you say, well, let's think about a weighted club. And that kind of emphasizes that whole lighter position. Because quite frankly here, as you turn up here, watch, there's that weight on the club there. Watch it, I told you to take it to a lighter position. Night and day position. Night and day. That is so good right there on the right hand side. And when we look here, I kind of showed this chip the other day. And just showing you, just getting you back into thinking about, or even seeing that as that club goes up and over that right shoulder, or just there in that part, we kind of emphasized, or we kind of talked about thinking of keeping the hands in front of our body. Now, by thinking that, trying to do that, those are two different things, but still, it's something that works out very well. Now, when we look here, here's Jay Haas. You can see Jay come back here. You can kind of see those hands go up and then back over that right shoulder. Now, we look at Jason Duffner. That's on the side. Let me look at Tiger Woods. This was at the Masters this year, but you can kind of see that same position here, and watch some hands kind of intersect just right underneath that right shoulder, and then up and over. Much better position, and even with yourself here, big difference. Much better, or even a better position than where you were night and day. Okay, so good job there, Norm. So what I want you to do in that same case is I want you to, maybe 20 reps. Nice and smooth, nice, slow and controlled, taking the club up to that top position. By taking that club up to that top position, just feeling that club over that right shoulder, you feel that position where you're here. And all we do from here is we come back down from that lighter position. That right elbow comes into the side, and we come back down and through. This is kind of what we talked about next, right there. You see that difference there? Right elbow comes down, little body starts to turn down, through, and that's all we wanted to see. Nice couple of easy swings. That's all we're wanting to see, back and forth. So then, what I had you do from there is I kind of put a little pull out here. I took a dowel rod or a limonade or anything, and just for to keep you to have that thought of swinging down and through, kind of feeling that position as you turn up to the top, and having that right elbow come back down to the inside, is that position. And by putting that pull there, it forces you to think, well, I'm going to swing down to the inside, because if I swing out here, guess where I'm going to go? I want to hit that pole. And quite frankly, that's the last place I want you to go. But initially, by doing this, it allows you to get that feeling that we're swinging, we're turning back, keeping the shoulders on that position we worked on last time. That's just night and day difference there. Here, we turn up. We don't necessarily need to go any further than that. So 10 and 2 on the hands, down and through. Making that turn down and through position. So as you hit balls, nice and slow, nice and easy. I'm not wanting anything hard and fast, because as you found out, when you're hitting balls, you hit it fast, that blocks to the right. We're not turning through, we're not making our position, so we're not as consistent as we turn down and through the shot. So by doing this, it allows you to feel that position. His hands come down, that right elbow comes down and through. All right, some pretty simple things to work on there. I know at the end there you asked about getting set up with the wood. The wood's no different here, And by doing this, the setup is we just have that ball position going forward, as we see here. We also talked about, it reminds me here, we also talked about your ball position. Trying to get that 7-iron through pitching wedge sandwich around the middle of your stance. Okay? Every club thereafter goes a ½ inch towards your left foot. So 6 irons a ½ inch, 5 irons an inch, 4 irons an inch and a half. Fairway wood should be maybe an inch or so to the right of your left foot, like you see here. And I'm going to bring it up here because that's where I ended up getting a side view of it, so you can see. Nice and day, nice setup, keeping the shoulders square, keeping everything square to the target as you do this. Great setup. I think everything looks good. Grip was looking good. Setup overall looked awesome. So just by getting, the wood's going to be the same way as you swing the wood. We're taking it back, we're getting that position, taking the club up over that, keeping our hands in front of our body. So, Norm, if you have any questions, by all means, I want you to give me a call. 314-724-6539, or shoot me an email at michaelwyattgolf@gmail.com. Thank you, sir.